When most traders picture success, they imagine big wins, doubling an account overnight or hitting that one perfect trade that changes everything. Social media makes it look easy. Luxury cars, screenshots of massive profits, and overnight millionaires. But here's the harsh truth. Those big wins are rare, and for most traders, they never last. The real secret? Consistency. Not hype, not jackpot trades, not luck. Consistency built on small, repeatable wins is what separates gamblers from professionals. Think of two traders. Jake risks big, chasing the life-changing trade. Some days he posts huge wins, but the next week he gives it all back. His equity curve looks like a heartbeat monitor. Up, down, flat, dead. Meanwhile, Sarah keeps it boring. She risks the same small percentage every trade, takes only setups that fit her plan, and ignores the hype. No fireworks, no drama, just slow, steady growth. 1 year later, Jake's account is dust. Sarah's account? Quietly doubled. Why does this happen? Psychology. Your brain craves excitement. Big wins flood you with dopamine, the feel-good chemical. It's addictive. You start chasing risk, forcing trades, and ignoring discipline just to feel that high again. Consistency, on the other hand, feels boring. It means doing the same thing over and over, even when nothing exciting happens. But here's the paradox. Boring is what builds wealth. Imagine fitness. You don't get in shape by lifting once with maximum effort. You get strong by showing up daily, doing the right reps, and building strength over time. Trading works the same way. No single trade makes you rich. Hundreds of small, consistent trades aligned with your edge do. Research backs this up. James Clear in Atomic Habits explains how tiny 1% improvements compound into massive transformations. In trading, that 1% improvement might be journaling, respecting stop losses, or sticking to your risk plan. Each small action seems minor, but stacked together, they create exponential results. And here's the kicker. Once you adopt a consistency-first mindset, trading becomes less stressful. You're no longer desperate for jackpots. You're stacking wins like bricks, one on top of the other, until you've built something real, something lasting. So let's ask the uncomfortable question. Are you chasing the thrill of big, flashy wins that vanish overnight? Or are you ready to embrace the boring discipline of small, consistent victories that actually last? So now that we've understood why consistency creates long-term success, let's talk about the other side of the coin. Why most traders fail without it. The truth is, the majority of traders don't lose because they lack strategies. They lose because they lack consistency in applying those strategies. A plan that works 60% of the time becomes worthless if you only follow it half-heartedly. And that's exactly where most traders stumble. 1. Chasing big wins instead of small wins. Many traders are obsessed with the home run trade. They risk too much, hoping for one big payoff, and when it doesn't work, they wipe out weeks of progress. This lack of consistency and risk destroys accounts. The irony? If they had stuck to small, steady wins, their account would have grown without the drama. 2. Emotional trading consistency dies the moment emotions take control. After a losing trade, fear makes traders skip the next valid setup. After a winning trade, greed pushes them to overtrade. These emotional swings create chaos. The strategy itself might be sound, but without the mental consistency to follow it, results collapse. 3. Constant strategy. Hopping. Another killer of consistency is the endless search for the perfect system. Traders abandon their plan after a few losses and jump to the next indicator or strategy they see on YouTube. They never give one process enough time to show results. This constant switching resets progress, leaving them stuck in a loop of hope and disappointment. 4. Impatience and short-term thinking. Consistency requires patience, but most traders can't wait. They want results today, this week, this trade. When those results don't come, they force trades, double their size, or quit altogether. In reality, trading is about probabilities over a large sample size. But without patience, traders sabotage themselves before those probabilities play out. Example: Jason's inconsistency. Take Jason, a retail trader. He had a decent breakout system, but he never followed it with consistency. Some days he respected stop losses, other days he moved them. Sometimes he journaled, sometimes he didn't. After a streak of losses, he switched strategies entirely. His account didn't fail because the system was broken. It failed because Jason never gave it a chance to work. Now compare that to Anna, who traded a similar breakout system but applied it with discipline. She journaled every trade, took every valid setup, and risked the same percentage each time. Her growth was slow but steady. After a year, Jason was out of the game while Anna had consistent profits. The difference wasn't the strategy. It was consistency. Without consistency, even the best strategies collapse. Without consistency, emotions take over. Without consistency, traders quit before they see results. The question is, are you falling into the same traps that destroy consistency? Or are you willing to build the habits that lead to steady success? We've just seen why traders fail without consistency. Now let's flip the perspective and talk about what happens when you actually commit to being consistent. Because here's the truth. Consistency doesn't just improve your results, it multiplies them. The power of consistency lies in one word: compounding. Just like money compounds when you reinvest your profits, habits compound when you repeat them day after day. Each time you follow your rules, respect your stop loss, or journal your trades, you're not just improving for that moment. You're building momentum that carries into the next trade, the next week, the next year. 1. Consistency turns small wins into big results. A single small win doesn't change your account, but stringing together dozens or hundreds of small wins creates a steady upward curve. Over time, this approach beats the big win chasers who blow up accounts trying to hit jackpots. Think of it this way: one trade doesn't define you, but your consistency over 1,000 trades does. 2. Consistency builds trust in your plan. Every time you execute your rules exactly as written, you strengthen your confidence. The more you see your system perform over a large sample size, the more trust you develop. This trust reduces hesitation, helps you stay calm in drawdowns, and reinforces discipline. In short, consistency builds the mental edge we talked about earlier. 3. Consistency reduces emotional volatility. When you're inconsistent, emotions run the show. You're always questioning yourself, doubting your trades, and reacting impulsively. But when you're consistent, you already know what to do. The decision is made before the trade begins. Follow the plan. This removes emotional noise and keeps your psychology stable. 4. Consistency creates predictable growth. Profitable traders don't aim to double their account overnight. They aim to grow steadily. Consistency in risk management, position sizing, and trade execution leads to predictable, repeatable results. And predictability is what makes trading sustainable long-term. Example: Sarah's steady climb. Sarah, a forex trader, started small. She focused on risking just 1% per trade and stuck to her strategy religiously. At first, her growth was slow, just a few percentage points a month. But she stayed consistent. After a year, her account had grown significantly. After 3 years, she was trading full-time. Her success didn't come from one lucky trade. It came from hundreds of consistent trades compounded over time. Meanwhile, her friend Mike kept chasing big trades. Some months he made huge gains, but he always gave them back. After 3 years, Mike was still stuck at break-even, while Sarah was thriving. The difference wasn't skill, it was consistency. Consistency isn't glamorous, it won't make headlines, but it's the foundation that compounds into extraordinary results. The key question is, are you chasing fast wins that fade, or are you stacking small, consistent victories that build real wealth over time? We've talked about how consistency creates compounding success. But the real question is, how do you actually build it? Because consistency doesn't just appear. It's trained, practiced, and built step by step. The good news? Every trader can become consistent by following a few practical steps. 1. Write down your trading plan. A plan in your head isn't real. It's just a thought. Write down your strategy with clear rules for entries, exits, stop losses, and risk per trade. When your rules are in black and white, it becomes much harder to bend or ignore them. This written contract with yourself is the foundation of consistency. 2. Journal every trade. You can't improve what you don't measure. Keep a trading journal where you record each trade, why you took it, how you felt, whether you followed your rules, and the outcome. Reviewing this journal weekly reveals patterns, like overtrading after wins or breaking stops after losses. Awareness is the first step to fixing inconsistency. 3. Focus on process, not profits. One of the biggest killers of consistency is being obsessed with daily profits. Instead, shift your focus to process-based goals. Did I follow my stop-loss rule? Or did I only take A-plus setups this week? By measuring success through actions, not money, you reduce emotional swings and build steady habits. 4. Risk small and stay patient. If your risk is too high, emotions will always sabotage you. Lower your position size until losses feel manageable. This makes it easier to stay consistent because you're no longer making decisions under fear or greed. Remember, consistency grows accounts slowly, but safely. 5. Build pre- and post-trade routines. Consistency is easier when you have structure. Before trading, review your plan, check your risk, and prepare mentally. After trading, review your journal, note your emotions, and analyze your decisions. These routines train your brain to trade like a professional, not like a gambler. 6. Train your patience. Consistency requires waiting for the right setups. Use alerts or watch lists so you don't stare at charts all day and take impulsive trades. Learn to see no trade as a decision in itself. The ability to sit on your hands until your edge appears is one of the strongest habits of consistent traders. Example, Daniel's turnaround. Daniel, a US-based trader, used to blow up accounts because he was inconsistent. Sometimes he followed his plan, other times he didn't. After deciding to change, he began journaling, reduced his risk, and committed to process goals instead of chasing profits. Within months, his mindset shifted. His growth was slow at first, but steady. And soon he was profitable. Not because he found a new strategy, but because he finally became consistent. Consistency isn't built overnight. But if you apply these steps daily, it becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, it becomes your edge. The real question is, are you ready to do the boring, disciplined work that builds consistency? Or will you keep chasing shortcuts that lead nowhere? Consistency might sound simple, but in practice, it's one of the hardest skills to master. To see its real power, let's look at a few stories of traders who built their success not on luck or flashy wins, but on the steady habit of being consistent. These examples may be fictionalized, but they reflect the real experiences of countless US-based traders who learned the same lesson. 1. Michael Torres, the impatient day trader, who learned control. Michael Torres from Chicago started his trading journey like many beginners. He wanted fast profits. He chased momentum stocks, risked too much, and felt like every trade had to be a big win. His account would spike one week and collapse the next. After losing half his capital in 6 months, Michael realized his problem wasn't his strategy, it was his inconsistency. He decided to rebuild from scratch. This time, he wrote down his plan, reduced his risk, and forced himself to journal every single trade. At first, the results felt slow, but over time, his consistency created a stable equity curve. Today, Michael is profitable not because he found a magic system, but because he trained himself to stay consistent. 2. Jessica Reed, the swing trader who beat her emotions. Jessica Reed, a swing trader from New York, had strong technical knowledge but weak emotional control. After a few losing trades, she would abandon her system, convinced it didn't work. Then she jumped to another strategy, repeating the same cycle. Her turning point came when she committed to sticking with one tested plan for 6 months, no matter what. She promised herself she would focus only on execution, not profits. At first, it was painful to watch some trades lose, but she resisted the urge to deviate. By the end of 6 months, her journal showed clear evidence. Her system worked when she applied it consistently. Jessica's emotional roller coaster flattened out, and her growth became steady. 3. David Miller, the patient futures. Trader. David Miller from Texas built his trading style around futures contracts. In the beginning, his biggest challenge was overtrading. He couldn't sit still. If he wasn't in a trade, he felt like he was missing out. His account bled from dozens of impulsive trades every week. One day, David decided to change his approach. He set a rule: no more than 3 trades per day, only A-plus setups. He placed alerts instead of watching screens for hours, and he learned to see no trade as a win. Over time, his patience grew. His trades improved, and his consistency turned his futures trading into a reliable income stream. The lesson: Michael's discipline, Jessica's emotional control, and David's patience all highlight one truth. Consistency is the common thread. None of them became successful because of one lucky trade. They became successful because they followed their rules, managed their emotions, and repeated the process day after day. So the real question for you is, will you keep searching for shortcuts, or will you commit to consistency? The real secret behind profitable trading. Phase. If there's one lesson that stands out in trading, it's this: consistency beats everything. Strategies can change, markets can evolve, and tools can improve. But the traders who win long-term are those who show up every day with discipline and repeat their process without fail. Throughout this journey, we've seen how inconsistency destroys traders. They chase big wins, jump between strategies, and let emotions control their decisions. Without consistency, even the best plan collapses. But when you flip the script, when you start focusing on small, steady wins, something incredible happens. Those little gains begin to stack. Confidence grows. Discipline becomes natural. And before you know it, small wins have compounded into big, life-changing results. Think about the stories we shared. Michael rebuilt his career by writing down his plan and journaling every trade. Jessica conquered her emotions by sticking to one system for 6 months. David turned overtrading into patience by limiting himself to only the best setups. Their paths were different, but their success came from the same core principle: consistency. And here's the part most traders ignore. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't give you adrenaline like chasing a jackpot trade. But that's exactly why it works. Trading is not about excitement. It's about steady execution. The mental edge of consistency gives you resilience during losses and confidence during wins. It turns the market from a gamble into a business. So where do you stand right now? Are you still chasing shortcuts and hoping for quick wins? Or are you ready to commit to the boring, disciplined work that actually makes traders profitable? The answer to that question will decide your trading future. Subscribe to The Trader's Mindset for daily videos on psychology, consistency, and discipline. Like this video if you believe small wins truly build big results. Comment below, "I choose consistency," to remind yourself and others that this is the real edge. Share this video with another trader who needs to hear this message. You might change their career. Remember, your edge is not in predicting the next candle. Your edge is in predicting your own behavior. If you can control yourself, you can control your results. Consistency is the quiet, steady force that separates amateurs from professionals. And the traders who commit to it, one trade at a time, always outlast the ones chasing shortcuts. So ask yourself one last time: will you gamble for big wins that fade? Or will you stack small victories that compound into lasting success?